I still can't believe how many people don't understand what President Trump means, what this indictment means, what the whole Trump agonistes represents. I don't think people get it. And I'm going to try my best to just explain something like I would explain a musical movement, like they used to explain to my parents in their generation when the Beatles came about. Nobody understood, what is this? What is this music? Why are people screaming? Why are women yelling? Yeah, they did it during, the Bobby Soxers with Sinatra, but not like this. And you try your best, but they don't seem to get it. And nobody seems to get the danger of what Donald Trump represents, not in any type of physical threat to the civilization that we know or to the republic. Oh, on the contrary, the danger is how he is upsetting the usual rule of order. This is something that people don't understand. This is something they don't grasp. I'm going to explain this to you in exquisite detail, and you will thank me for it. And one of the ways you can thank me for it is, of course, to like this video, to subscribe to the channel itself, to hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and the like. And also to take note of our wonderful sponsor, our friends at My Patriot Supply. Right now, my friends, think about this. In the event there was a major catastrophe for whatever reason, and there is an interruption in the food supply, if stores are closed, if there's a sense of panic, if you have local media reporting how Costco's and Acme's and Whole Foods and Piggly Wiggly's and Kroger's all of a sudden are closing and that people are getting restless. After all, remember something. We went bananas over toilet paper during COVID, and toilet paper had nothing to do with COVID. I don't want to get into the gastrointestinal aspects of it, but you know what I mean. Right now, you can save $200 on a 3-month emergency food supply. This provides you with 2,000 calories per day, 21 varieties of incredible food with a 25-year shelf life. Breakfast, lunches, dinners, drinks, snacks, resealable 4-layer pouches with oxygen absorbers, 120 pounds of food, no MSG added, in 6 rugged water-resistant buckets that you stack in a modular system. And you can't replicate this by yourself. If you think banana chips and prunes can work, you are wrong. So here's where you go to get this deal, and you only go to preparewithlionel.com. 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 And I have the link right here. Believe me when I tell you this, you are going to need this. Preparewithlionel.com. Now, I have been a lover of trends and patterns all of my life. I notice when things happen, when all of a sudden something happens to our society, and I note it. For example, when people went berserk over tattoos, I said it then. This was one of the most important aspects, one of the most important additions to our collective society. When people were scarring and grotesquely inking huge swaths of dermal real estate for reasons nobody could understand, just to be a part of something, when the crowds, when the murmurations of these lunatics permanently scarred and disfigured themselves up the necks, and why? Just to fit in. And while I don't cast any aspersions on this stupid, demented behavior, I will tell you this, that Donald Trump represents to people what you used to call liberty, patriotism. You want to call it nationalism? You want to call it what? Nativism? What do you want to call it? What do you want to call it? He has awakened the sleeping giant and given it a terrible resolve, as Admiral Yamamoto would intone. This is like nothing we've ever seen before. And the more you pile it on, listen to what I'm saying, the more you think you've got him, the more And this is counterintuitive because he lives in his own inertial bubble. I've never seen anything like it. The more you attack him, the more people admire him, the more they love him. And let me tell you something else, which is very interesting. If you really want to see how people love Trump, talk to people from around the world. Talk to people from foreign countries that know a little bit about tyranny, know a little bit about having their sense of order and liberty wrested from their controls by lunatic and demented regimes. Talk to Cubans in Miami who know a little bit about Castro, how refreshing they are. Talk to people in Eastern Europe. Let me tell you something. There is something about these countries that respect Trump. They love this. We don't understand this because we're demented. We're a country that actually lauds this psychosexual detachment from reality when we actually debate whether a man get pregnant. Let me think about this. Think about this for a minute. We're debating this to the point of arguments, debating this to the point of actually enacting legislation where we, through some moment of some psychically disconnected, weird, emotionally kinetic, this short circuiting where we're arguing about this. And through the dust and fog and mess of this lunacy, there is this guy Trump. And you may not get it. You may say, what is he talking about? And believe me, I recognize it. Now, you might also think to yourself that I am necessarily endorsing his candidacy. This has nothing to do with this. I'm talking about the image, the visage, the semiotics, the symbolism, what he represents, and how he, for the rest of our lives, is going to represent something that you have never heard before, seen before, thought was even possible. This is what I'm trying to tell you. This is what I am telling you. You may not see this. You may not grasp it. You may not. And I understand it, especially if you're one of these predisposed anti-Trumpers. And by the way, anti-Trumpers do not mean Democrats or liberals. Let me also tell you something. If you happen to be a fine, prototypically classical paleo-liberal, you are SOL, my friend, because your Democratic Party has been taken over by this parasitic, this contaminant, this, I don't know what you want to call it, this shadow government intrusion. It's a virus that has almost like an mRNA analog gone into your party, reworked, rewired, and reconfigured everything. So if you wanted progressive, anti-war, prototypically classical Gene McCarthy, Bobby Kennedy, let's help. It's over with. No. There is no Democratic Party. There is no liberal anymore. You have been taken over by the likes of Schwab and Soros and others in this incredible, this diabolical amalgam, this syndicate of I don't know what, who want to go after your liberty and your thoughts and your genders. And the only reason these people are interested in the least in drag shows and beer commercials is to cause a fractious disharmony. And Trump comes along, and what does he do? What does he talk about? The flag. America, making America great. Have you ever heard anybody from the left ever say America? When you're driving in an area and you want to say, I wonder what kind of a political ideology most of these people represent. If you see American flags, no, those are Republicans. That's Trump country. That's Trump country. He is so associated with a group of people who actually believes, a group that believes in the fundamentals, the abecedarian, the elemental, the lattice work of that which comprises our country. And please forgive me for that bit of a kerfuffle, that bit of a glitch, that little bit of video interruptus. Let me remind you, as I was saying, there are portions and geographical enclaves in this nation of ours, where people are absolutely in love and enthralled and immersed in that which is Trump. And you can do whatever you want. Like most people, they can dismiss it. They can laugh at him. They can laugh at their own peril and at their own risk. And you can argue about whether it's a misspeak. You can talk whatever you want. Please spend your time surgically defining and divining, I should say, his behaviors. And do it at your own risk, because you're wasting your time. He is something that we've never seen before. Take anybody you've ever thought that was popular, whether it's Reagan or whether it's Clinton, and get rid of him. There is nothing. He is box office. He has been able to turn the political rally into an art form. And my friend, I thank you for allowing me, let me just say, the opportunity to speak to you. Again, it means a lot. I know people always start off these videos. They say, "Can you like the video?" I say, I haven't even heard you yet. What am I liking? So you've heard me. So please like the video. Please subscribe to this channel. You'll find me to be most logical. Believe it or not, because I haven't even told you. I'm not even necessarily using this as a method of supporting the candidacy, theoretically, of President Trump. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about what this persecution is doing to him. Please support our sponsor at My Patriot Supply and use preparewithlionel.com as your URL. Save money and save your life with emergency food. I can't be any more blatant and obvious than that. And with that, my friend, I thank you for watching. And now I beseech, through this entreaty, I import you and I ask politely and respectfully that you comment as you see fit.